Well, folks, it all comes down to this: the men's and women's NCAA Final Four this weekend. We got the women's today on Friday. We'll have that tonight. And we also got the men's tomorrow night on Saturday. We'll do a preview for each of those. But considering what's coming first tonight, let's go ahead and look at the women's Final Four: UConn, Arizona, Stanford, and the South Carolina Gamecocks. Let's get it. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Chris Ballard here with Ballard Sports Media, coming at you on a Friday. This is going to be a busy day for me. I got this video here. Then I'll do one for the men's. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow afternoon before the games tomorrow night for the Final Four games there, which we have UCLA, Gonzaga, and Houston and Baylor. But considering the women's Final Four games are tonight, I figured I'd look at those. I've been following along a little bit. I know I don't talk about it much on here. I don't know what it is. I got all this other stuff going on with streams, and after I watch these games or follow along, I got something going on at home or something. I don't know, but I'm here now. I will at least get you guys in on a Final Four preview, and I'm going to try to do this in two different videos. I'll do one here for the women's, and I'll do one for the men's. And we'll look at both Final Four matchups for the women's here. So the matchups we have three number one seeds in this women's Final Four. We have South Carolina's a 1 seed, Stanford's a 1 seed, and UConn is a 1 seed. The other team, Arizona, who's playing UConn, that's the later game. That's tonight at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 my time and Central Time. UConn's a 1 seed. Arizona is a 3 seed. No undefeated teams. This isn't like Gonzaga in the men's. But UConn's the highest of them all. 28-1 on the year. Arizona's 20-5. South Carolina's 26-4. And Stanford's 29-2. Let's go ahead and look at South Carolina Stanford. A lot of people, and I've been saying this at least for the men's, but I guess at the same time it's looking that way for the women's. And this might be the case every year. It kind of seems like it, but this year I think for basketball is just a year of the favorites. South Carolina is an underdog in this game, but only by 6 points. 6-point favorite, Stanford. 29-2, a 1 seed. This game's at 6 Eastern tonight. Now, you look at this. This is going to be a great game, I think. It's a Final Four matchup. When you look at it, this a national championship on the line, right? And I guess the women's will be Sunday night, and the men's will be Monday night, right? On average, let's look at Stanford, right? They're scoring about 78.9, round at 79 points a game, 78, 79 points a game. So they got some great offense, right? But South Carolina, they got great defense. They're only giving up maybe 57 points a game. And in games where Stanford is scoring around what South Carolina is giving up, 57, 58 points a game, in those games, there's been 31 of them. In those games, Stanford is 29-2 in games where they score about 58 points, and for a team to score 58 points in a basketball game, if it's in the NBA, there's something wrong, because they're all scoring, they're 100-point games, 90-point games, something like that. But in college basketball, 50 points says great defense and terrible offense. not like terrible offense, but a terrible offensive type of game, right? You didn't score enough if you score 50 points. If you only score in the 50s, that's not enough. You got to try to hit 70. I say that's the minimum. 70 to somewhere in the 90s. We see teams in men's basketball all the time scoring 90 points. You got Gonzaga scoring in the hundreds, just a little bit, pretty darn close to it. You know, great offense for Gonzaga. We'll get to that in the men's preview. So, and Stanford has great players. Stanford can shoot from behind the arc. You know, they can shoot 3-pointers, and they do such a good job of that this year. You know, they could get about 9 3-pointers a game. 9. That's pretty good. And they only give up maybe 5 or 6 3-pointers a game to their opponents. So Stanford's scoring about 9 different 3-pointers each game, giving up maybe about 5 or 6 to their opponents, and holding them. That's where Stanford does their best, right? And South Carolina is a little similar. But Stanford in particular, if they want to win this game tonight against South Carolina, they got to score more threes than their opponent, right? You know, I think they're very capable of doing that. I think a lot of people are going to look at Stanford and be like, this is the team. This is the team, you know. Kiana Williams is the lead scorer. She gets about maybe 14, 15 points a game each game she plays. The best passer, too, on the team, 3 assists per game. Haley Jones can get maybe 12, 13 points a game, and she gets maybe about 7 rebounds a game for the Cardinals. Very aware, gets the rebound. Great passer, great scorer as well. Kiana Williams, 2.6, made 3-pointers per contest. So about maybe 2 3-pointers. You know, so what I'm noticing here, what I'm reading, Kiana Williams is the lead scorer for the Cardinals, right? She averages maybe about 14 points a game. Obviously, I mean, some players are going to score a little bit more than 14 here or there. That's going to happen. 2.6 made 3-pointers each contest she plays. Obviously, that says... I guess you could look at that and say, well, obviously she's scoring in the paint. She's, scoring more so in the zone. Layups, 2-point shots, not a whole lot of threes. But that doesn't say that they can't score 3 points. It just says they do a much better job. Like any other team, really. I mean, there's a lot of teams that have more 2-pointers than 3-pointers, I guess. Then you look at South Carolina, right? South Carolina has some scorers as well. You got Destiny Henderson, 5.1 assists and averaging 12 points a game, right? Aliyah Boston leads the Gamecocks as far as rebounds per game goes at 11.4 and is scoring about 13.8 points a game. You round that to maybe, 14? So, and you got a lot of young players on South Carolina, sophomores mostly, 1 or 2 freshmen. And then a couple juniors. Only 1 senior. And then the same could be said. I mean, there's a lot of young players in this tournament, in this Final Four. And even on Stanford, they got mostly sophomores or freshmen. So Overall, I'll just go ahead and get to this, I guess, because I also want to look at Arizona and UConn. But when I look at Stanford and South Carolina, I think it's just going to be a defensive game, maybe in the 60s or 50s or something. I don't think it's going to be a huge, hey, let's say 80 points, because that's just not how it is, right? There's just great defense in this game. Overall. And again, like Stanford's like a 5-point favorite, 5.5-point favorite in this game. And Stanford's the favorite outside of UConn, right? And I told you guys this. I've said it so many times with the men's, and I think it's the same way for the women's tournament. It's just the year of the favorites. We got 3 different number 1 seeds in this game, right? This is going to be very interesting to see. A lot of people think South Carolina is going to win this, and I would probably agree. And when I look at it overall, I think South Carolina is going to win this one too. If I had to pick a score, though, and I'm not one to pick scores for basketball games, but I don't think any team's going to hit 70 points, and I don't think it's going to be a blowout. It's going to be close somewhere. I could see South Carolina winning this game. I'm going to say maybe 68-64 South Carolina for this one. And, yeah, I mean, 68-64 South Carolina over Stanford. South Carolina punches their ticket to the championship to face either UConn or Arizona. I'm going to do that one in a different video, I think. But stick to South Carolina winning over Stanford. Well, tell you what, folks. I'll go ahead and do Arizona UConn. I think a lot of people love UConn. A lot of people like Arizona too, but UConn's just that team. They're the Gonzaga of the women's this year. The only thing is they do have a loss. So South Carolina, I guess, over Stanford. So South Carolina goes to the title. I think UConn's going to go to the title too, and I think we get UConn South Carolina for the national championship for the women's tournament. And the reason why I pick UConn, Paige Beckers, I don't know how you say her last name. She's a freshman, and she's like the best scorer. She's like, you remember when Trevor Lawrence was a freshman quarterback? She's like that right now, right? Like, she's like so hyped up going into the season. You got this freshman player on UConn, and it's out of nowhere. She shows up and is just dominating, leading and scoring, just putting points up. Everyone's talking about her. She's a great player. She's a great athlete, right? You remember when Trevor Lawrence was a freshman and we talked about him, but it's like, I don't know. He's a freshman. We'll just have to wait and see. I don't think Clemson could go all the way with this freshman quarterback, and they did. They whooped my Crimson Tide. I'm still kind of pissed off that we gave that game up, but you know what? Credit to them. That's kind of how it is with this Paige Beckers. She just is so great at scoring, and there's no other way to put that. I mean, this should tell you a lot, folks, right here. How about the spread for UConn, Arizona? 13.5 points. 128, the over-under, they set it at, right? UConn's the favorite by 13.5. That should say a lot, and they play a heck of a defensive game. Baylor, they won by 2, 69-67. You probably saw that game the other night. Defense played great, knocked it away, right? Just a great game in the Elite Eight against Baylor, who was a great team as well. Iowa, they won by 20 on March 27th, 92-72, right? So they can give up some points. When they play defensively, when they play a great offense, they can play some good defense, but obviously that great offense is going to score some points on you. But don't underestimate UConn to to put some points up. So overall, you got that. I'm going to go UConn over Arizona, and probably go South Carolina over Stanford. I think UConn over Arizona is easiest to pick compared to trying to pick South Carolina or whoever over Stanford, but I do think it's close. So anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Let me know who you think's going to win the women's Final Four, who's going to the championship, and who's cutting down the nets eventually for the women's. And I'll do a video a little later on. Maybe get it tomorrow, because I wanted to go ahead and get this one because we have the Final Four for the women's tonight on Friday. And maybe I could get one in tomorrow afternoon for the men's. We got, of course, Gonzaga and UCLA, and then Houston and Baylor for the men's. But let me know who you think's going to win the Final Four with the women's. Don't forget, today, I don't know how long this video is going to take to upload, but 3 o'clock on Friday, 3 Eastern time. Fourth and Goal, though, is back with myself and my good buddy Uncle Lou. Love all you guys. Jesus loves you. Please like, comment, and subscribe right here to Ballard Sports Media for more sports content. And until next time, Ballard Sports Media is checking out. Good luck to all the Final Four teams in both the men's and women's. Best of luck. May the better team win. I think it's a year of the favorites, but we will see. Love you guys. Have a great day. Good luck to all the teams. We'll see you later. Roll Tide Roll. God bless.